How to be happy in every situation. The story of a wise old woman. Once upon a time, in a quiet little town, there lived a kind old woman named Grace. Grace was known by everyone for her warm smile and calm heart. People from all over the town came to her for advice or just to share their worries. One day, a young man named Jake asked her, "Grace, how are you always so happy? No matter what happens, you never seem sad. Don't you ever feel upset when things go wrong?" Grace smiled softly and said, "Jake, life is full of ups and downs. Some days are bright and easy, while others are hard and painful. But I've learned that real happiness comes from inside us, not from what happens around us." Jake looked confused. "What do you mean? How can you be happy when bad things happen?" Grace took a deep breath and shared her story. "When I was younger, I had a loving family, a husband and 2 children. We didn't have a lot of money, but our home was full of love and laughter. Then one day, my husband got very sick. We didn't have enough money for the medicine he needed, and after trying everything, he passed away. That was the hardest day of my life. I cried for weeks and thought I would never be happy again. But slowly, I realized something important. Being sad all the time wouldn't bring him back, and my children needed me to be strong. So, I started looking at life a little differently. I accepted that there would always be good days and bad days, but I decided not to let the bad days steal my happiness." Jake leaned in, curious. "But how did you do that, Grace?" "Every morning, I tell myself, today is a new day, and I will find something to be happy about. Some days it's hard, but I always find something. A bright sun, a blooming flower, or a kind smile from a friend. There is always something to be grateful for." Jake thought for a moment and asked, "But what if something really terrible happens? How can you still be happy then?" Grace nodded gently and said, "It's not easy, Jake, but I remind myself, everything passes. Even the hardest times don't last forever. When I face trouble, I say to myself, this too shall pass. I focus on what I still have, my health, my friends, and the simple fact that I'm alive. Happiness is a choice. You can choose to dwell on the bad and feel sad, or you can choose to see the good and feel joy. It's not always simple, but it's possible." Jake thanked Grace for her wise words and promised to try her advice. From that day on, he started looking for good things even in tough times, and slowly he found his life growing brighter. Grace's story spread through the town, and more people began to understand. Happiness isn't about what happens to us, but about how we choose to see the world. And so, the town became a happier place, all thanks to Grace, the wise old woman who taught them the true secret of happiness. Remember, happiness comes from within. No matter what life brings, we can find joy in the small things, choose to focus on the good, and stay strong through every challenge.